I'm Alex. What's your name?
Vincent.
Okay, we're about to freaking do this. We're out here in D.C. It's nearly midnight, and I love this guy because I'm out here trying to work out. That's why I'm out here. I'm literally trying to, I was at the airport all day. So this guy's out here freaking like Pele, just scoring goals all day long. No goalie, so I'm sick of it. So I'm going to shut this guy down, or he's going to score on me. You guys get to see. I'll put the freaking camera behind the goal. We'll see best out of 3. Let's see if the pimp on a blimp can shut him down. Vincent, can we shut you down, dog? Are you going to score? Okay, I bet he will. I bet he will too. All right, well, let's see what happens. Okay, let's try 1. All right, Vincent with a V. Vincent with a V. My man Vince. All right, guys, primetime 99, goalie life. This is how you do it. I'm not European. I'm Texan, but we'll see. How does it work, though? All right, this is the last one. All right. One, Vince is 1. Oh, what is it? 1 and 1. Y'all got me. I'm with my new best friend, Vincent. This guy's still a thug, though. He can play soccer. Y'all are messing around. I got lucky. I'm out there on the list. You're the real man, Vincent. We're in D.C. late at night. We're not scared. We ain't scared.
I'm so fly, I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. But break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Primetime with Alex Stein. I'm your host, Alex Stein. We got a great episode for you this evening. We got comedian, Kill Tony legend, the one, the only Donna Lee in studio. Donna, how are you doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, I'm doing good. We also have a new host of a pop culture show on RAV, Real America's Voice, the one, the only Adrienne Gray joining us as well. So that'll be very exciting. We're about to get to her. But real quick, Donna, did you see my athletic prowess right there?
That was very Friday Night Lights. Yeah, I was very impressed. I cried. It was a whole thing.
I know. Were you kind of nervous what was going to happen? Did you think he was going to score? Did you know, did you know the outcome before it happened?
No, I didn't, but I thought you were going to fall down, and you didn't. So I was
didn't,
very impressed.
I dominated, and I shut him down. And did you notice the color of his skin?
I did not. No.
You
Absolutely.
didn't notice he was a black man and black people were superior athletes to whites?
No, I didn't see any of that. No. You both look like the same color people.
Donna, who's the vice president of the United States?
I don't know. I stopped watching.
No, be for real. Who's the vice president?
You think I don't know? I love Vance.
Okay, good.
So, do I get brownie?
Well, I can't tell if you're real or fake. That's what I'm saying. No, you're doing shtick, and I got to do my shtick meter.
I just watched the Vance movie. What was that called? The
Hillbilly heroin?
The elegy, hillbilly heroin.
He's a hillbilly heroin addict?
Yeah, that was good. It was
It's good to do heroin?
Yeah, it was very moving to do heroin while I was watching that movie. Yeah.
I would recommend not doing heroin. All right, is our guest ready? Let's bring her on. She said, what's the name of the show, Jimmy?
Real America's Pop Culture.
Well, that's easy. Real America's Pop Culture. We welcome on the newest host for RAV, the one, the only Adrienne Gray. Adrienne, welcome to the show. How are you doing? I didn't hear anything. Is that my headphone or is that us?
Can you hear me?
Now I can. It sounds good now. Oh, I like the blimp in the back. Adrienne, wow. That's really very fancy of you. I really appreciate that. Now, Adrienne, thank you for joining the blimp, excuse me, I can't speak. Now, let me tell you something. These pop culture shows, though, I think they are very important. And that's my problem with conservatives, is that we don't listen to enough pop culture stuff. Everybody acts like celebrities and Hollywood isn't cool. In reality, that stuff is kind of cool. I mean, it's become weird and infected by pedophiles. But other than that, you know what I mean? Like, Hollywood culture is still cool. California culture used to be cool. It just sucks that their state's on fire. So tell us a little bit about conservatives and pop culture, because, those don't always mix together.
Yeah, they don't always mix together. I hope to aim to be the new wave that talks about it. I think the way that I talk about it is a very relatable way that, we can't gloss over it all the time. We have to incorporate it. And really, President Trump is the pop culture president.
Yeah.
So, if he's putting stuff out on the White House social media that's using Justin Bieber's new songs, it would be a disservice for us to not even know that Justin Bieber has an album out. I'm not saying I sign on board with everything that Hollywood does, but let's not be amiss. Republicans like to be entertained as well. I think there's a bit of us that can separate the politics from the performer in certain cases. So I think it's just an interesting take. I'm excited to have a lot of conversations with people on the left, mainstream artists that don't really come around to the right.
Wait, time out, Adrienne. You think a bunch of people on the left are going to come on your show? I doubt it. You really think? I mean, I'm not trying to say they're rude. I hope you're right. I'm not calling you a liar, but it's funny because at least the right will go on leftist shows. I feel like the left is not like that. You know what I mean? They're less likely to defend their viewpoints, in my experience.
I agree with that mostly. I think, blonde hair is in right now, Alex, and
true.
I think I've persuaded a couple of people to say yes.
I date a beautiful blonde. Yeah, no, that does help, and I mean that with all due respect, but, being a sexy lady does help, you know what I mean? Being a sexy man helps me too. I mean, I'm going to be honest, it helps me a lot. I use my sex appeal for a lot. I use it a little too much now because I've been using it for free sandwiches at this Subway, and honestly, I need to stop doing that. I've been sending this Indian man pictures of my feet for free subs for a long time. But he makes me do weird stuff, like he'll make me stand in the lettuce and then he'll eat the lettuce. It's very weird, but at least I get free subs. I get free subs, you know what I mean? And honestly, Jared, the Subway guy, I hate him now, but as a young kid, he did encourage me to lose a lot of weight. So, Subway, I feel partial to Subway. Yeah. So do you ever eat at Subway?
I don't. I had to distance myself after the Jared thing.
Yeah,
I think it was a little disturbing what came out there. Do you remember that?
Oh, I very remember. I was actually one of the kids he abused, but I don't want to get into that. That's another story for another day. But Donna, real quick, now this is Donna Lee. Donna Lee was on Kill Tony. It's a very famous podcast. You're a pop culture expert. I'm sure you're familiar with Kill Tony. But she is from Puerto Rico, and she didn't like when he called her country a shithole country. Now, what do you think about people like Tony? Is it bad? I know you have a podcast. You can't really say these bad stuff, but I like controversial, edgy people. Do you think on your pop culture show you'll have an edgy kind of controversial flair, or will you be?
Oh yeah.
Are you going to be buttoned up?
I welcome it.
You are.
I welcome it. I love it. I live for it. Again, President Trump won because of his edginess, because of his realness. I mean, he got out there the other day and he said they don't know what the F they're doing. People loved it. They ate it up. There's a bit of that is real. I welcome all of that on my show.
I love that. Okay, now we asked some hard questions. Pardoning Puff Daddy, I think that's probably a bad idea. President Trump is supposedly kind of, brainstorming this possibility. I don't know if that's true. You read it on Twitter, how much truth is on Twitter. Actually, a lot, but you know what I mean. What do you think? Do you think that he should pardon him? And if he does pardon him, don't you think there would be an exponential amount of backlash compared to what's going on with the Jeffrey Epstein release?
Yeah, I can't imagine that this is a real truth. I think at the end of the day, what we do the worst in on the right is suburban women and Gen Z women. If you pardon P. Diddy, you can sign, seal, deliver that no suburban women and no Gen Z women will ever look our way again. On top of that, I don't think you can not release the Epstein list and pardon Diddy. One has to go. And I don't know what it's going to be. I would love for both of them to go, but I don't think you can do both. It doesn't work. And I think it would ruin everything that he's been doing, the good stuff that he's been doing. So Sorry, I keep looking at this photo you guys have up because it's terrifying.
It's scary. I know he looks like a sexual predator,
Oh
but
my God.
I guess technically maybe he is a little bit of a predator. And I'll be honest, I was actually one of the first people to say that Puff Daddy needed to be freed, but I said that sarcastically and as a joke. And now the idea that that's coming to life, it's kind of spooky because I didn't think that was a real possibility. So I think Donald Trump needs to be very careful. And if he does do that, then I'll tell you what. And if Donald Trump pardons P. Diddy, but he does not pardon Joe Exotic, I'm going to be very frustrated. I mean, so much so that I'm going to be very vocal about it because Puff Daddy, we know, yes, these were consenting adults, and Puff Daddy's probably not as bad as the media says, but we know that he is a bad person. If you gave preference to Puff Daddy over Joe Exotic, who was there for us, in my opinion, during our toughest time, the pandemic, I will be absolutely sick. And on top of that, Puff Daddy probably killed Biggie. So where do you sit on Joe Exotic's pardon?
Yeah, that's interesting. I sort of forgot about him. However, randomly he surfaces online on Instagram. I don't know how he has access. I don't know if you know, but
I know him very well. Him and I are very close. Be careful what you say. He watches the show every night. Joe's a very close friend of the show. I'm visiting him in federal prison on Monday. Yeah, go ahead.
He
Sorry.
posts on his Instagram. Listen, the fact that I have to choose here and cherry pick it's not a good look.
What do you mean cherry pick? Like you choose between Joe Exotic?
Like,
so
these
you
are
don't
my
want to free?
choices.
Wait, are you not interested in freeing Joe Exotic right now, Adrienne?
It's not on my interest list.
Oh my, are you, Adrienne? What are you talking about? I thought you liked pop culture. Have you ever heard of Netflix? Have you ever seen Netflix?
Oh, I've seen it all.
Okay, so do you know what it's like to have the #1 show on Netflix? I know, with all due respect, you don't know what that's like. So nobody knows pop culture bigger than Joe Exotic. He was the pop of pop culture.
Yeah.
Wait, he was #1. Wait, I'm so passionate about this. Why? Because you don't think Carol Baskin killed her husband?
She did.
Listen, I have not. I've spent my time on other conspiracies, but I have not spent enough time with the interest of.
Okay, how about this? Okay, I'm going to give you a pass on that one, but I really shouldn't because we love Joe. I want to see you in federal prison, but. Michael Jackson, there's a huge conspiracy. A lot of people think that he was a pedophile. That is not true. Through my investigation, my deep journalism, and my detective work, Michael Jackson was accused of a lot of stuff, never convicted of an actual crime. And the person in the recent documentary that said that he was molested by Michael Jackson was actually his lead character witness in not one case, but 2 cases. Being cross-examined by the top state prosecutor in California, asking him repeatedly if he had been touched or molested by Michael Jackson. And at the time he said no. So I think there's a lot of evidence pointing to Michael Jackson's innocence. How do you feel? Is Michael Jackson innocent, or is he guilty of sexual crimes, in your opinion, Adrienne?
When it comes to guilt or innocence,
do you think he had sex with a child?
I don't. I do not think he did.
I
think he, as a child, didn't get to live his childhood out thoroughly. So he just related with younger people. So he invited them over, he hung out with them, kind of had some sleepovers.
Which is weird, but
it's
also,
weird.
Macaulay Culkin, when you have Arrested Development, you didn't get to have a childhood, finally have all the money in the world, that's what you want to do, go back and have your childhood. And there's a lot of weird stuff with nostalgia, you notice now, that all the Disney adults. So actually what he was doing back then is not much different than what the Disney adults do today. But listen, it is weird to spend the night with kids, but Macaulay Culkin and Corey Feldman, who Corey Feldman was assaulted by other people in Hollywood, but both of them said that they hung out with Michael Jackson and that nothing like that ever took place or even insinuated anything sexual. And they said that he was only respectful and nice to them. So I believe those two. So I like that you're woke on Michael Jackson. So that is a +1. Now, what about some other stuff? Like, do you think that we've gotten enough transparency with JFK and MLK? Because, like, with MLK, what did we learn? That he went to some orgies, which is weird, but, whatever. Like, in JFK, they gave us transparency, but I haven't really learned much. I think, personally, the CIA was involved in his murder. So what do you think happened? Do you think the CIA could have been responsible for the death of JFK or MLK?
Listen, I think anything is possible. I think we are ignorant to believe absolutely everything that's ever happened with our government and everything that they've ever told us. I mean, that would be just pure ignorance. So I believe in speculation, and I believe that we should be questioning things at all times. Now, how far the tinfoil hat goes, it depends on the situation. I agree with you. I don't think we've learned much more than we already kind of knew.
Yes, I would agree with that. Donna, any opinion on that?
No, but I want to know your opinion about the moon landing.
Oh, yeah, we'll ask her right now. So in 1969 through 1972, we ask everybody this on the show. And I guess to break the ice, we'll have you answer, Donna. What do you think about the Apollo moon missions? Do you think man actually went to the moon, or do you believe it was fake?
I don't see how we could have gone that long ago, especially with the technology that we have now. We can't go.
I love it, Donna. Donna's awake. What about you, Adrienne? Are you a moon landing denier? Because I bet I can already tell. If you don't want Joe Exotic freed, you're going to be like, we went on the moon. We put a flag there. Yada, why? Well, Adrienne, did we land on the moon?
I think the moon landing was one of the most incredible movie sets of all time.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Finally, thank you. Gosh, Adrienne, you're winning all those brownie points back. And I really encourage everybody to go watch Adrienne's show. And it's premiering when, or has it already premiered? It's premiered this week?
Our third episode is this Saturday, 7 p.m.
Oh.
Awesome. So everybody needs to go watch that. But, you know, we got you for a little bit longer, but we talk about this. We talk about conspiracies. You know, for me, one thing that I'm very passionate about is not just the Michael Jackson one, but I think that the terror attacks on September 11th, I'm extra passionate about, because I think there's a lot of weird coincidences that took place, like the idea that they were able to find the terrorist passports on the same day, but not be able to find the black boxes, or the idea that, you know, Tower 7 fell down and didn't even get hit by a plane, technically. So what do you think about September 11th? Do you think that it was a false flag attack and that America had insider information that there was terrorists trying to hijack planes and fly them into buildings, because Condoleezza Rice and George Bush both said that they were prepped by the FBI with this information and that they did not take the threat serious enough? Or do you think maybe it was a false flag attack and they just actually let it happen in order to start a never-ending war in the Middle East and take over their oil and petroleum rights throughout the world?
This is a tough one, right? Because I was a Bush girl. But, you know, growing up, going through the years, seeing information coming out, as you know, with alternative media, people create their own platforms, and then we hear their research, their journalism, the journalism that's journalism, right? So I've been curious about this for a long time. I think maybe there's something in between.
Okay.
In between both.
Well, we'll take it. We'll take it, because it is obvious that whether or not you believe the conspiracy was like a total inside job, which a lot of people don't believe that, and Tower 7 did look weird, but I think what sticks out the most for me, and I said this in the question because I just think it is egregious, that both Condoleezza Rice and George Bush were both briefed about this. And of course, George Bush got to do his interview with the 9/11 Commission report, which is a joke, which has 28 pages redacted, but he got to do his testimony in a closed door with no recording. And then I just feel like if you were briefed that a guy was going to do a plan to fly planes into buildings, you would probably take that threat serious. And then you look on top of that, there's a thing called Operation Northwoods, which is a declassified operation where they wanted to, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, hijack planes under Cuban nationalists and fly them into buildings in Miami in order to start, you know, use it as a pretext to war with Castro. So, you know, it is crazy. Reality seems to be stranger than fiction. Okay, now let's ask you right now, Donald Trump, 6 months in, what is his grade? Be fair. Give him a real grade. Everybody's giving him A's. I'm like, come on, guys. I don't know. I think it's maybe B+. I like what he's doing with the economy, but it's not perfect so far. I think that I'm looking for some more redemption and a little more transparency. But how would you rate Donald Trump if you had to give him a grade for his first 6 months, Adrienne?
I mean, you wouldn't like my A grade, so do I go A-?
I don't know. I mean, A, you don't think that there's anything to criticize? Do you think that did he end the war?
I think there's things to criticize, but is it enough to bring him down?
But did he say that he would end the war in Ukraine in the first week, right? Didn't he say that?
Yeah, I think there's definitely things.
We're still sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. We just, I think, approved some more money to Ukraine. And then also, he said he was going to you know, in the Israel-Palestine conflict. I think that is at the worst position that it's been. So that's two, I would say, 2 marks. And then on top of that, when you look at the Epstein files, giving the binder to the influencers, for me, was not only disrespectful to the country, but disrespectful to those influencers that I'm friends with, Chad Prather, using him as a pawn. Because, hey, you get invited to the White House, nobody would say no. Everybody would go there and take that binder and take a picture. People are, you know, bashing Jack Posobiec. What's Jack Posobiec going to do? Not be happy that he has inside information, that he's going to give people all this knowledge that we've been craving for forever? So he bamboozled the American people, and he bamboozled people that were trying to help him. So for me, those are 3 big knocks that I'm sorry, it brings you down to a B. I'm sorry, Donald Trump. I'm just going to call balls and strikes like an umpire. So that's where I think we disagree.
I'm sorry to cut you off. My question is this a Pam Bondi decision, or is this a President Trump decision to do the binder phenomenon?
Well, here's my question to you. Who's the president? So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but does he oversee every single action that happens?
I agree with you 100% because it's like, hey, what does he go into the file cabinet and pull out the Epstein files and then he can just tweet it? It doesn't work like that. I'm not, so naive or I think it works like that. But at the end of the day, I thought Matt Gaetz was a better choice as AG, and then we didn't get him because of, allegedly some skeletons in his closet, which everybody has. And if he didn't commit a crime, then I don't know. But I'm not here to defend Matt. Matt can defend himself. But with AG Pam Bondi, what I do think is weird is her connection to Jeffrey Epstein's case in Florida, where she was the Attorney General. So I don't know. Like, I think there's a lot of questions that are still yet to be answered when it comes to Pam Bondi and how she was in a position of power when personally, for her giving that binder and not giving us any information, I would personally think that's a fireable offense. What about you, Donna? Do you like Pam Bondi?
I really don't have an opinion about that because I stopped watching the news a few months ago. But I like that Adrienne said she was a Bush girl because I'm also a Bush girl, but in the 80s that meant something different.
Okay, no, I thought you meant George Bush Sr. Now then I got it. It took a minute to get. Okay, this is a children's show, Donna. You know that. There's children watching this show. All right, Adrienne, though. Now, what do you think about illegal immigration? I am actually getting a lot of flack, especially from the far right, because I have a little of a nuanced opinion of it. I believe that we should deport illegals, but I believe that all big booty Latinas deserve amnesty because if you're a 9, you're fine. If you're an 8, I don't know if we really need a debate, but I'm saying, and I know that might sound a little sexist, misogynistic. Hey, I know I'm guilty as charged, but at the end of the day, these are the women that they're not the ones that are doing the gangbanging, Tring de Arruga, drive-by shootings. No big booty Latina does a drive-by shooting. Maybe a couple deranged ones, but very few. And usually it's at their ex-boyfriend or ex-husband, which is, maybe justified. My point is, what do you think about amnesty for big booty Latinas? Do you agree with that?
I think it's a very interesting approach. I haven't heard yet anybody have this nuanced approach.
Time out! Time out! This is what pisses me off, Adrienne. You haven't heard of anybody that has this nuanced approach. Donald Trump literally copied me. Once again, another notch. Put this on the scorecard. He said he's giving amnesty to hotel workers. Who works at every hotel? The housekeeper's always a big booty Latina. Like, literally, he's stealing my swag. He's stealing my immigration plan. So somebody else had that idea. President Trump had that idea. So I apologize for getting so worked up. So, him and he's stealing all my mojo. And then on top of that, South Park stealing my whole bit. I do Charlie Kirk. I'm the world's greatest Charlie Kirk impressionist. And now Cartman stole my whole gimmick. So I get frustrated that everybody's copying me.
It's okay. We're all in here together,
We are here together, and I have two lovely ladies.
We're here for you.
Thank you, Adrienne. You probably didn't realize coming on my show is like a therapy session for myself as well. And how do you deal with that actually? How do you deal with the spotlight? Now you got a show. I'm sure you get criticized, you get critiqued. I'm sure you have friends on the left that probably don't like you anymore. So how do you do it as a person in the media?
Well, my honest, blunt reaction to that is probably something that might come off weird, but my kids are healthy. My husband's hot. I have a great family. I have great friends. So anything else outside of that, I don't really care about.
What about the conspiracy that women actually try to make their husbands uglier in order to, make them less attractive to other women? Are you guilty of doing that, or is that a conspiracy?
I think so. I think I want to be in a relationship where we're both equally hot and obsessed with each other. I think that's a fun thing to do. It keeps the youth alive.
I don't know. I think the girl should be hotter than the guy. You know what I mean? Because that's just how it works. My girlfriend's hotter than me. I think that is. I don't know if it should be equal. What about you, Donna? Should it be equal?
I think it should be equal so it's more fun, but does your girlfriend keep you less hot? Is that what you're saying?
I think so. She tries to feed me a lot. I love her so much, but I noticed that I've been, dieting and exercise a lot. There's always some Bluebell ice cream. I know, I'm trying. There's always some Bluebell ice cream. She's like, oh, there's a new flavor that we didn't know about. She loves these new flavors of Bluebell, and I seem to be, I have a problem with night eating. What about you, Adrienne? What is and Donna, you're very fit. What is your exercise plan? Because I do this horrible thing where I just starve myself. We call it fasting. Me and Dr. Jason Fung, we call it fasting. But I call it starving because I'm starving all the time. But then actually after 24 hours, the starvation kind of goes down because the ghrelin, the hunger hormone, seems to, it recedes a little bit. But still, you get flashes of hunger. And so, I starve myself. How do you lose weight?
Well, so it's interesting, this intermittent fasting, I typically do that till around noon, and then I'll have my first meal. I'll do a long walk, like 2-3 miles on the fast. But I know what you're saying when you spike. I don't know if you have coffee. I do have some coffee during that fasting time, but a lot of walking as I'm getting older and then a little bit of strength training. But I used to be really big into the cardio, and I realized that the older we get, it's just harder. It makes you swollen all day and hungrier.
The running is hard. Like the walking's good. Even if sometimes I'll do too much walking, that can kind of, now that I'm getting a little older, it is harder. But it really comes down to diet. I think, and I really encourage people. People should try intermittent fasting, even if they're not trying to lose weight. You just feel better when you're not all full. I think our brains work a lot better. So I encourage.
Oh, the mental clarity is amazing in the morning.
Oh, I agree. But Jimmy just told me some disturbing information in my ear, very disturbing. And I'm hoping this is a joke. Donna, are you on Ozempic?
Yes, I am.
Time out.
Yep.
You're a comedian. I know Donna's a comedian. She was just on Kill Tony. She had a viral experience on there. But why would you be on Ozempic?
I can answer that. I was 40 pounds heavier, and I was very pre-diabetic. My mom is a tiny little Asian lady, 5 foot tall. She had horrible triglycerides, high cholesterol. She was on really serious medicines for her diabetes. My dad was a big, giant Irish man, 300 pounds, 6'3", perfect cholesterol. So I was kind of in the middle. I started Ozempic.
Wait, time out. So you had kind of a fat dad. My dad's lost weight, but my dad's been big. I'm kind of a fat guy. So you're saying you got this big ass dad, but his blood works fine.
Yes.
You got a tiny mom, and her blood works all jacked up.
She's very healthy.
Okay, so that's kind of weird.
I was very pre-diabetic. I was warned by my doctors, you are going to be diabetic.
You were that pre-diabetic?
Yes, I was. And I lost 40 pounds. I feel great. My numbers are normal for the first time in 15 years. And I don't care what you think about my Ozempic.
Well, I'm not even hating on that. I have not done Ozempic. Everybody blames me for doing Ozempic. And if it works, and I do think it is for people that have diabetes, that people that are diabetic or pre-diabetic, that it is really good for their health. But like,
It was amazing.
but you're still on it though, right?
Yeah, I do a low maintenance dose, and I eat very little, but I eat healthier. I eat lots of protein.
Does it give you nausea? Or I heard they say that it gives you diarrhea and
Well,
nausea.
if you take it wrong, I do a really minimal dose, but I've never felt this good. I'm in my mid-50s, and I feel better than I felt.
You look good. You look great for mid-50s.
Yeah,
amazing.
Keep it up. Well, that's awesome. I didn't realize that. I wouldn't have expected you to be on it, and you gave us. But I've been hearing all these stories about TikTok, models getting on it, and they're getting like brittle bone disease, and I've also heard of people going blind from it.
Yeah, that's very rare. It does happen. You have to see a doctor. Those people are probably going to esthetician places where there's no MD.
They're getting the Brazilian butt lift. Hey, what do you think about that, Adrienne? A lot of these men are complaining about the smell, the odor from Brazilian butt lifts. Have you seen that online?
I have not seen that, but I'm not a super big fan of the BBL. So
There's a lot of leakage. They say that. Have you seen the videos where they're in like they're in the waiting room for the BBL doctor, and they're all on the chairs on their hands and knees because they can't sit on their butt?
Oh yeah, for like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Right?
Have you seen that? Have you ever seen that?
I have not, but it's one of the most dangerous surgeries to do.
It is? Is it? I mean,
it is.
Why? Because I know people that actually, there was people that injected like concrete and stuff in people's butts and they died. I remember hearing and reading about those stories.
Right.
But because, they're just like doing silicone or whatever they can.
Yeah.
But why from a regular doctor is it dangerous? I figured that would be safe. They're just sticking stuff in your butt.
It's one of the most dangerous forms of plastic surgery. I was talking to a girlfriend about this because she kept saying that everybody's removing their BBLs and whatever, because it was a fad for a while there. It was much more prevalent. But yeah, I had a plastic surgeon friend tell me it's one of the most dangerous surgeries that you can get, just the way that they do the procedure. And I think you're laying on your stomach, during
for a
the
long
procedure.
time.
So I think like with your arteries, like it's, he was talking medical jargon and went over my head. I'm a hypochondriac, so I've never gotten anything done. I don't take any, supplements.
Ozempic? You don't take any Ozempic?
Yeah,
Donna?
like I'm just like a square,
Well, we're not squares here. We do all kinds of stuff. I'm selling this new thing. It's a vape with vitamins in it. It has methylene blue.
Interesting.
It has methylene blue and caffeine in it.
Interesting.
It also has a bunch of kratom and a little bit of Xanax in it. But
what a minute.
Wait, you inhale some of it. Donna, it'll get you secondhand high. It'll get you high. Are you familiar with my biological stepfather, Tucker Carlson?
Yes.
That's for you, Adrienne.
Oh,
do you know
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, he sent me a gift. He sent me a bunch of nicotine. Now, there is a debate online. You seem to know a little bit about health. There's some influencers that are saying, and I want your opinion too, Donna, that nicotine is healthy. I obviously am coming out with my own vape that my dad is, helping me create. I'm going to do it. it's going to be, vitaminvapes.com. And so I'm in the nicotine business with my dad. I think nicotine's healthy for you. What about that? What do you think about the effects of nicotine?
Well, this is a conversation I have weekly in my household because my husband uses the lip pillows.
This is it. Lip pillows. Alp. We got unlimited lip pillows. Oh, I love your husband. No homo, no Diddy, excuse me. But that is awesome.
And yeah, so this is a conversation we have weekly.
And what do you bust his balls, Adrienne? Are you like, quit doing that, quit doing the thing, quit dipping the things? I bet you're nagging him all the time. And he's like, honey, I had a long day at work. Just let me have some nicotine, damn it. And you're like, I want to go to dinner. Yeah, I know. Order Uber Eats. I want to take a damn lip pillow and chill.
No, they're too hot to fight.
The thing is, there seems to always be one in. And I know, like, if I go in for a kiss and it's like super extra minty, it annoys me because I'm like,
why?
Something
Time out.
there.
I see. Once again, I get mad. Why? The mint is delicious. Would you rather his breath stank?
Because as adults do in loving marriages, when they start kissing, get that thing out of there. And it's a whole thing, and it just disrupts.
I'm on your husband's
I
side.
agree.
I'm on your husband's side. Listen, it is your duty, and I'm not meaning this misogynistically. If you were dipping, it might be gross, right? But he's the guy. It's masculine. He's a man's man.
Oh, I believe there's bigger fights.
That is true. That is true. I bet you're not busting his balls too much, excuse my French. But I just do feel like, because my girlfriend, she hates it. If I do an Alp patch, she's the same way. She's like, why are you dipping like that? So I actually am empathetic to your cries. But yeah, it is kind of weird, though, how nicotine, though, after a long day or after doing something, that's why he keeps it in. It does kind of help you focus. I know that sounds crazy.
It does.
And I'm not encouraging people to take it. I'm not encouraging people to take it.
I'm a believer in that. And I've listened to Tucker Carlson talk about just that. My biggest issue with the inserts is the gums. I'm worried about what's going to happen to the gums.
Yeah, you're right. I stopped doing it because they said that I need to get a gum graft. So I was actually dipping a bunch of this stuff, and now I hardly do it. Sometimes, literally, I chew. It's so bad. And, even though Alp is delicious and it's healthy for you kids, actually not for kids, excuse me, adults. I'll chew nicotine gum now. That kind of helps me if I need to focus. And that sounds crazy, but it actually tastes good, and it gives you a little hit of nicotine now. Every once in a while, I think it's okay. Now, let me ask you this. Going back to COVID-19 and what's going now, I was just kind of reading something, and I thought this idea was somebody said, can anyone pinpoint the exact moment when the world started to go to shit? And somebody tweeted that it was when Kobe Bryant died. I agree with that. That was like right before the pandemic, and that's kind of like when the whole world changed. So I guess pop culturally, like, how would you compare that year, 2020 or 2019, to kind of what's going on now? Like, do you think we're past the pandemic and stuff and we're ready to laugh and stuff? Because I think now everybody realizes sports are rigged and Hollywood movies all have like pedophilia undertones. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like pop culture, but is pop culture dying?
I think some of it is dying. I think some of it is reviving. I think we're seeing that with some of the ads that are going on. We're seeing in Hollywood, certain movies are losing a lot of money. Other movies are coming out, number one. Number two, we're seeing music trending on the Billboard top. That is, for instance, Alex Warner and a couple other Christian artists. So we are seeing changes where I don't think pop culture is dying. Maybe the sense of what we refer to as Hollywood, as that kind of scene, might be dying down, the wokeness of it. I do believe we're getting a little jaded when it comes to some of the things you were talking about. But I do believe, in a weird way, America keeps uniting over outrage and like making fun of people and like calling people out, having these events like the CEO at Coldplay. That truly feels like what's uniting us is trolling.
Yeah, trust me, I know. That's kind of what got me popular. Now, what is your viewpoint on Israel-Palestine? Do you think that the kids are being genocided?
Oh, jeez.
I think we need to get food in there for the children. The children have done nothing wrong. They don't deserve to be in the situation they're in. They didn't choose it. So I think we need to get food in there.
If you could pick any Mercedes color for a brand new Mercedes, which color would you pick and why?
Black.
Black?
No,
ooh, why black, though?
My entire life, I wanted a black car, okay? My husband, my dad, everyone, they've always said, it's going to be too hot. You can't have a black car because you get in there and you burn your thighs. Okay, it's cool. And living in DC, right? Everybody has like a black like SUV. I just always thought it was a vibe. I always thought it was cool. And you always want the thing that you could never get, even if it's silly to other people.
Yeah, see, I was going to think you'd be like a white or something, but no, I like black because you kind of want to fit into DC because everybody that's in a black car, you're like, is that a politician? Is that like some sort of an important, figurehead of a company? Okay, before you go, we only got you a couple more minutes. Let me ask you this. What, you're in DC. Now, I know DC's not that far from New York. What do you think about this mayor of New York, this Mamdani guy? I just read a New York Post article. They said that in all the pre-polling, he's dominating. And on top of that, I didn't realize this. And, it's how much do you believe these polls? But Eric Adams is polling at like 6%. He's polling less than Governor Cuomo. And even though he's not you know what I mean? He's Andrew Cuomo, not the governor anymore. But I'm just like, what the hell? Eric Adams, I know he got the corrupt deal, and I get why they don't like him. But it looks like Mamdani has a good chance of winning because there's no actual threat. Curtis Sliwa split it, Cuomo split it, and then Eric Adams is going to have, they are predicting like a 6 to 10% split of it. So with that being said, if Mamdani has over 50%, he's going to win. So I think it's a high possibility that he's going to win. What do you think?
Yeah, I travel to New York, almost every other week. It's a shame. I think you're right. The likelihood is high that he's going to win, and it's sad. I go into this city and it just feels like nobody cares. Nobody cares about it anymore. And I can't
Or they like
understand.
it. I've seen people on Man on the Street stuff of conservatives, and people are like, no, I'm excited for Mamdani. I want a free grocery store. They think all of a sudden they're going to get a bunch of free stuff.
Well, you know what? There's going to be a reality check that comes because we just had the shooting. And this man wants to, he believes in defunding the police. Mm-hmm. So we have a much bigger issue than getting a free grocery store. That will never happen, quite frankly. And these people are too dumb to see the long game here, the bigger picture. And honestly, I hate to be a negative Nancy, but I think the city is going to fall, and I think it's going to fall to him.
Yeah, and I hope it doesn't, because New York is a great city. But and no disrespect, obviously, to fallen officer of the NYPD, but even if the NYPD has more funding, it's just so hard to police New York because it's so big. I feel like if NYPD even had unlimited funding, New York is still going to be crazy because, New York, in my opinion, is almost like a social experiment. We don't really have, I know Asian countries kind of have, that dense population, but in America, we're so densely populated on top of each other. I just don't know if that's how human beings are supposed to live. And I think New York City is a great city. I know people have lived there their whole lives, but it's hard to live there. It's a grind. And it probably shouldn't be like that. I don't know. New York should be a place where it's not so hard to live there. It should be a place where, like the New York that I imagine Frank Sinatra going to. So, okay, before we go, tell the people, how can they find you and how can they support you, Adrienne?
So you can find me everywhere. My handle is @Adrienne Gray TV, and my show is on Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, so that's that.
And then you are going to have some leftist guests on there, though, because I know that, you're a blonde, so you said that they'll come on. But I do think that sometimes we're in an echo chamber, so it would be very beneficial. I try to get them on my show. None of them will come on. You know what I mean? So I really encourage you, not that I'm trying to give you advice. I'm no role model. Do not follow my lead. But I'm just telling you, in this content-driven society, we don't have enough content. And Piers Morgan does a decent job of it. We don't have enough debate content. We have too much echo chamber content. So
I couldn't agree more.
Well, thank you. Everybody go support Adrienne Gray, the one, the only, Real America's Voice, Real America's Pop Culture. Thank you, Adrienne. Have a good one.
Thanks so much.
All right, Donna.
Yes.
What did you think? Adrienne's very nice.
Very sweet.
She's sweet.
She's very well informed. She's very cute.
She thought you were, do you think that she was judging you for being on Ozempic? Because I thought she was.
Yeah. She hates me. That's okay.
She was like, she's on Ozempic?
I'm skinny. I look cute.
That's all that matters, really, at the end of the day, is being skinny. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding, really, because, you could be having a bad day, and I'm not necessarily skinny, but I do look better. It's just, if you
feel
look
better.
Well, I'm saying, but if you look good, it makes you feel good all the way around, I hate to be so, vanity is a terrible thing. Materialism is a terrible thing, but it's nice to have nice stuff, and it's nice to look good. I mean, don't quote me on that, but you can.
Now, when Jimmy told you I was on Ozempic, were you judging me?
Yes, I was like, this woman's going to go blind.
That's very rare. And if you're not being followed by a doctor, that might happen. But I go to doctors, an actual doctor.
Yeah, but they'll prescribe anybody.
No, you have to do your lab work. You have to go through all the stuff. I mean, I do all the right things, and
but
safe.
Don't they say that you have to stay on it for the rest of your life now?
You might have to. You can do a really low dose, or you can get off of it. But this medicine's been around in a different form for 20 years.
Or the application, which makes sense, is for people that were diabetic, yeah.
Not that I know of, nobody has passed away. They do get these weird side effects and they might feel terrible. But
And I've noticed, though, the stories are usually people that are like really thin that don't need to be using it. It's like I haven't seen, I mean, Rob Eno, I always say he's not the managing editor, he's the what?
Editor-in-chief.
No, he's not the editor-in-chief, I don't think, is it?
I don't know his exact
He's probably
term.
watching this. Yeah. Wow, okay. Well,
He's an
Rob
editor
Eno's
at
a
the
great
Blaze,
guy.
top editor.
He's top editor in power. He is. He took Ozempic, but he did. He said that he kind of, has a little nausea and a little, runny.
you get over that. If you have a nausea in the beginning, you typically get over that after a few weeks. So.
All right, guys. So you heard it here first. The diarrhea does not last that long. And Morgan,
And it makes you
one of our
skinny.
top chat rats, lost a bunch of weight on Ozempic, so she's an Ozempic stan as well. So shout out Morgan and shout out Donna Lee, losing all that weight. We love that. We actually encourage you guys to lose weight. If you're watching this show right now, and you're like, do I need to lose weight? You
Yes.
probably do. Try to knock off 5-10 pounds. I know it seems like, that's not going to make a big difference, but trust me, even a little bit of weight will make a difference. Your pants feel better, then you're moving and grooving. Next thing you know, you lose 20 pounds, and you look like Donna, and so that'll be good. All right, Donna, let's play this clip. You had a viral moment on Kill Tony for kind of not knowing the inside joke that everybody laughed about, which is understandable, because I think that just makes you a nice person that you're not watching disgusting stepmother pornography. But with that being said, we won't even say anything. Let's watch the clip, and now you'll know what I mean.
Okay.
I knew she was a stepmom. Like y'all, you knew it too, right? You felt it.
Do I give that energy, stepmom energy?
No doubt about it, yeah. There's no question. Have you ever gotten stuck in a washing machine?
Have I ever gotten stuck? Probably. I said probably because I didn't know what I was answering.
Yeah, so basically what you're insinuating is that you got stuck, but your genitals were outside of the washing machine.
Yes.
And
I
your
said probably.
You know, genitals, your genitalia, your female genitalia would be outside of the machine, accessible to a person. And it's actually very weird because then it has like a grape culture vibe to it. I don't want to say the word, that is, because
yeah.
like the person's helpless.
Yeah. I want to admit, though, this is embarrassing. I said probably, I think 3 or 4 times. So I really didn't know what was going on. And then I had to go Google it, and then I had a ton of people call me the next day and go, you had no idea what you were talking about.
Were they putting like washing machine emojis in your
Yes,
thing?
I had all those on my instant messages and direct messages, and I got the most mean, horrible, funny comments.
You
And
should get. Have you reached out to any laundromats? Getting a laundromat, you can get a Maytag. You get a Maytag endorsement.
Oh my God, I should. I was telling you earlier, the best mean comment I got was, Caitlyn Jenner's doing stand-up now.
That I know that's
I thought
funny,
that was
but that
hilarious.
had to hurt your feelings a little.
It didn't. I love Caitlyn Jenner. She makes me laugh. And then I pulled up a picture of her, and I did a whole thing about it, and I thought, okay, we look kind of similar. I mean, brown hair, tall, skinny.
You look like a dude.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Skinny dude.
Don't do that. No.
It was an amazing experience to be on Kill Tony, I have to admit. I was telling you, it was very encouraging and kind, and everybody was just rooting for you. All the comedians, there's 300 of us sitting in a room waiting to be called, and the end result was that they let me tell another joke, and I was going through my comeback era, and I've gotten the most amazing social media bump, and everybody has been nothing but kind and sweet. And
Oh, that's awesome. And then, was that your first time putting your name in the hat?
no, it was my 4th time.
Wow, that's usually what it takes. People don't realize you actually have to go there, and if you just do it over and over, eventually you do get picked. So it's crazy.
You have to come back.
You do have to come back, so I encourage everybody in the Austin area. Now, this video is kind of going viral, and I've seen different variations of this video, but let's play SOT number 3 and how they're checking people into the La Quinta Inn through a virtual assistant in Indonesia. Look at this.
Okay.
We need 1 room key or 2 room keys?
2, just in case I lose one.
Yes, I'll look into this for you. Just help me with your signature, but it says guest signature. Let's
So they're at a
just-
hotel in Miami,
Please
Florida.
wait while we process your registration form. Please note that we have a strict policy of no smoking, no pets, and no visitors allowed in any of
Of
our
course
guest
he's wearing a
rooms.
tie and suit, dude.
Signature must match the one on your ID. Using your finger, please sign where it says guest signature when you see the form on the screen.
All right, sir. I will just process your room receipt, which contains all the property.
That's unbelievable. They got a guy in Indonesia doing that for $2 an hour.
Wow.
And I've seen other restaurants, and I think they were in Miami too, where you just go up to a kiosk, and instead of just like having the kiosk just order the menu and pay, because I've seen those kiosks before, they think they're like being better with their customer service policies by letting us speak to a guy with broken English in Indonesia. I think that's hella and mad disrespectful to go. If I went into that hotel and that guy did that, I'd call him names. I would call him names. I'm not going to say the names I'd call him, but I'd call him some names.
I went to a hotel recently, and we just check in by yourself, and I like that better.
That's how they do it in Vegas. So
Yeah,
that's
that
what I'm
was in
saying.
Vegas,
They
yeah.
have that. Why even
Why
try to?
even have- yeah.
Why give us the guy in Indonesia? No disrespect to Indonesia. I'm sure it's a terrible country, but I'm just like, why do I?
That's weird.
It's like almost like you want us to have bad customer service. I hate that when I call damn Spirit Airlines. I'm talking to a guy in Bangladesh. I'm like, how the hell are you going to help me get to freaking Dallas to Toronto or Dallas to Miami? And they can't. And they suck at their job. And that's what is frustrating because a lot of this DEI, these people, they think, oh, let's hire an Indian to do it cheaper, like they can do it just as good for a cheaper price. That's not true. When you look at companies like Boeing and their most recent 737 MAX 8 jet, the only reason that it was falling out of the sky is because the software, the code was written incorrectly, so much so that the planes at 39,000 feet, and that's why they actually fly them a couple thousand feet higher at their cruising altitude, it was getting a computer in the autopilot for the plane to nosedive, and it was nosediving so hard that the plane was stalling out. Now, this didn't happen with later models built by engineers before the DEI era, the 737, 800, 700, which is still in existence, are planes from literally the 80s. They're literally from the 80s. And they still fly great. Southwest uses them all the time. And it's the new ones that are crashing because they're using Indian guys that don't know what the hell they're doing, using ChatGPT to write code on some of our most important military equipment and the planes that travel the most when it comes to commercial airlines. So I don't know. What do you think about Indians taking Americans' jobs? I think it's actually a big threat.
I think it's off-putting, but would you feel better if it was like a little old lady that was checking you in on the screen?
100%.
Wouldn't that be cute? And she'd be like,
Even if it was
check on in.
even if it was a Latina lady. But I mean, why
big
am I
booty
talking?
Latina?
Why am I talking to a person? Why am I talking to a person in another country? Can't we just talk to a person in this country? I mean, what the hell? And I'm not anti-immigration. It's like I'm not saying that guy shouldn't move there and work there, but it's like a computer screen. I feel like they're trying to just.
Strange.
They're trying to play with us. They're trying to piss me off, and it's working. Now, what do you think? Are you mad that Hulk Hogan used the N-word?
I don't think he should have used it, but bless his heart and
Why
rest
not?
his soul.
Why not?
So,
Why shouldn't he have used it?
I forgot what context to use it. I don't know. He shouldn't have said it
He's
at
talking
all.
about his favorite baseball player.
You know, he also slept with his daughter's best friend. So
No.
Yeah.
Wait, I
married
think
her.
No, what happened was it was the mom, Linda Hogan, started dating one of the kids in Nick Hogan's grade. But I don't think.
No, he absolutely dated his daughter's best friend. I swear to you. And I think they
Why
got
do you
married.
know that connection?
I just saw something on this on a documentary about all this and all the people.
Well, but my very good friend of the show, Bubba Army, Bubba the Love Sponge, we used to be best friends with him. So I have a little inside information to this, but I don't remember him and I'm not calling you a liar. I don't remember him telling me, because I know this story. It's a very famous story of Linda Hogan,
Yeah, I know
Hulk
that
Hogan's ex-wife, and then move it, because when Hogan got kicked out in the divorce, she moved a 19-year-old kid in while her son was actually in jail for getting in a drunk driving accident and crashing and paralyzing his best friend.
Right.
And so the kid was not only wearing Nick's clothes, allegedly, he was driving around in Hulk's, like, bright yellow Hulkster mobile, you know what I mean? Literally, like, it was lifted up with huge 35-inch tires. I mean, Bubba's told me the story, and he's driving around with the subwoofers blasting, and it's not Hulk Hogan in the car, even though it says, like, Hogan on it.
Right.
So I remember hearing about that, but I didn't realize. So you're telling me Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan, was banging Brooke's friend? Is that true?
That's what I just saw on like an Inside Edition show or something where they went through his life because he just passed away, and they talked about all the loves of his life, and they started with Linda, and they went through like 4 until the current one. So
The current one had a lot
Jimmy,
of
look it up.
controversy. Yeah, look it
Google
up.
It's
Look
true.
It is true?
Yeah.
What was the girl's name? No, I believe it, actually.
Linda?
Now that you say it, I mean, what the hell? Hulk Hogan's banging lots of chicks. I mean, I'm not going to put it past him. Now, do you think it's, okay, this is a common thing. Are you familiar with Andrew Tate?
yes.
Okay, Andrew Tate has a policy that he says it's actually less gay to sleep with a transgender like Blair White that has a penis than it is to sleep with a woman like Hulk Hogan with a vagina. So what do you think is more gay, a passing trans person or Hulk Hogan with a vagina? If you're a man, I still think that you have to sleep with Hulk Hogan with a vagina because anything else is gay. Hulk Hogan with a vagina is still a woman, still a vagina. What is your opinion? What is gay and what is straight?
To a man, aren't all holes in the dark the same? I don't know. I don't.
That's disgusting.
Right?
Do you believe that?
I think Yeah, if
Not
I'm a guy.
clap. That's disgusting.
Thank you for the clapping. I feel like I'm in a comedy club. That is absolutely true. If I'm a drunk guy and I have this hole or that hole, I'm.
Well, there's next to the hole. There's 2 balls and a dick, though.
You don't feel it though. You guys can kind of hide that part. It takes a special talent, but I'm sure you guys can hide that part. That's my opinion. That's my educated opinion.
Which hole does your husband prefer?
He'll take any. I don't have a libido, so he'll take any hole.
Wait, what? You don't have a libido from the Ozempic? Is the Ozempic killing your sex drive?
From menopause.
So you just kind of let him have free reign?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find him a girlfriend, bless him.
No, do not say that. Are you in a polyamorous thing? My buddy Bubba's in one. It ruined his life. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No, I'm kidding. Anyway, menopause, it's the real deal, y'all.
Do you have the hot flashes?
I do, but I'm taking a whole bunch of hormones from the same doctor giving me the Ozempic, and now I have all that under control.
Oh, that's good because, I was seeing some things. They're giving like the Lupron to the young girls, and they're getting menopause at like 16, 17, 18 years old and getting hot flashes.
Oh my gosh, that's awful. Yeah, no, don't
So
do
you
that.
don't think it's good for like a 14-year-old to go through menopause?
I do not think that's good.
What if it helps them affirm their gender?
Oh, no. No. I don't agree with that at all.
What about a 21-year-old? That's not a big deal for them to go through menopause, is it?
It depends on if she's hot. I'm just kidding. It depends. If she's not hot, go through menopause at 21. Nobody will notice.
I don't understand why it matters if they're attractive or not. Why? Because I guess because they're attractive, they need to have babies. If they're ugly, they don't. Is that the...
Yeah, that's it. Attractive people should have babies. Where's Adrienne? Let's bring Adrienne back.
I think that Ozempic's going to your brain a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Have you ever done hardcore drugs, Donna?
No. I
What's the
can't even do pot.
What's the hardest drug you've ever done?
I tried an edible in Las Vegas and lost my mind.
No, tell us a little bit about it.
It was awful.
I know, because that stuff is strong. I've done that
It was
before,
very
too.
strong.
I've had that where I've eaten too much of an edible, and I'm like, where the hell am I? I mean, I've never been so much like I think I'm going to die or go to, like, call 911.
Oh, I thought I was going to die.
Oh, you did think you were going to die? Yeah. But I've had that where I've eaten the pot brownie, and it made me, like so high that I was sick. I remember waking up the next day, you're still, like, high. That's not good. So what happened to you? You ate a cookie?
So
and
I took an edible. It was a little tiny edible square, and I cut it in quarters, and I ate the quarter of the tiny square, and I thought, we're going to party, we're going to party. And so we went down to the casino, and my husband was playing blackjack, and about 20 minutes later, I thought everybody in the casino was trying to punch me in the face.
What, you're that paranoid?
It was that awful. And then I started crying, and I was the crazy person in the casino that was like, take me out of this situation right now. And so for the next 8 hours, I was miserable and cried, and I hated it, and I'll never do it again.
Wow.
Yeah, my husband was like, you did it wrong. I was like, I ate it wrong? Like, I don't know how I did it wrong.
You just don't have any tolerance.
I don't.
Okay, let's watch a couple of these clips I pulled up. What do you think about insider trading? Do you think that politicians should be able to trade stocks with immunity?
No, of course not.
You don't
Nancy
like...
Pelosi can, but not the rest of...
Let's see.
Sorry that we had some sort of technical issue. Nancy Pelosi became rich.
Why do you have to read that? We're here to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid. That's what I agreed to come to talk about.
Yeah, but I wanted
what that means in the election.
I wanted to give you a chance just to respond. He accused you of insider trading. What's your response to that?
That's ridiculous. In fact, I very much support the stop the trading of members of Congress. Not that I think anybody's doing anything wrong. If they are prosecuted and they go to jail. But because of the confidence it instills in the American people, don't worry about this. But I have no concern about the obvious investments that have been made over time. I'm not into it, my husband is, but it isn't anything to do with anything insider. But the president has his own exposure, so he's always projecting. He's always projecting. And let's not give him any more time on that, please. We're going forward here, and I'm very proud of my family, and while he might make fun of us, while somebody inspired by him breaks into our home and hits my husband in a deadly fashion, hits my husband over the head, and he thinks that's a riot, I'd rather not go into some of my other complaints about him right now. Rather to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid.
Yeah, maybe if your husband wasn't having gay sex with a random stranger, he wouldn't be laughing about it being a home invader. I mean, the guy's like obviously welcome into the house. I don't even think it was a breaking and entering thing. It was a very weird thing. Don't you think it's kind of weird for Nancy Pelosi to even bring that up? Like, why why even bring that up? That's the reason you're mad at Donald Trump. We know that your husband's a big fanook or whatever it is called. We don't care.
Wow, 60th anniversary of Medicaid is what she focused on. I used to work at doctor's offices, so Medicaid is not the friendliest discussion in the medical world.
Wait, what?
They don't want to reimburse doctor's offices Medicaid.
No shit.
Yeah, so why is she celebrating this situation?
They suck. She wants to talk about Medicaid. Nobody gives a damn about Medicaid. Even the people on Medicaid are like, this shit sucks. I'm dying. And
that was, though, the best politician answer I've heard in a long time.
That was a good politician answer?
Well, no, the way she took
Bring up her husband, being gay and doing gay stuff?
She didn't answer the question. She answered something else and then talked about something else and then brought it back to what she wanted to talk about.
I think she's drunk.
A little bit.
Okay, what do you think about Caitlin Clark?
I'm confused about Caitlin Clark.
Why? What's so confusing about her?
She's the basketball player. I don't know. I saw her walking in a feminine outfit the other day, and I was just so confused.
She has a boyfriend. She's actually heterosexual. Yeah, she's one of the few ones in the league. And now her teammate, Sophie Cunningham, is...
Why does everybody hate her so much? I don't understand.
She's white.
Oh.
For being white.
Is that true?
That is true, and she's the best white player. I mean, that's one of the main reasons they don't like her, and she's not a lesbian. If she was a lesbian, they'd like her more. I'm not even kidding. Okay, let's watch her teammate, Sophie Cunningham, say some facts, but she's getting a little backlash. Let's watch it.
And it literally, like, pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Sabrina? No.
No, there's really good.
I gotta say though, Sophie, they gotta pick a better set. That's horrible lighting for. No offense, Sophie, but they gotta give her. What do you think about the lighting, crew? I mean, the lighting is just
well-known people in our
not good
league. I'm not discrediting them. Like, we have a lot of badasses in our league.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah to that. I'm all for
Name
that.
one.
But when people
Yeah,
try to
name
argue that she's not the face of our league,
Yeah.
or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as shit.
Yeah.
You're literally dumb as fuck. And it literally, like, pisses me
Well,
off.
I think that's a bold statement, but I tend to agree that she is the face of the WNBA, but they've only demonized her. And now I don't want to pull it up because it's a YouTube, it will get censored on YouTube. But somebody threw a green dildo on the court last night, and it got more views than any other WNBA game this season. So it's crazy to think that's all it takes is one sex toy of a green penis to compete with Caitlin Clark. So what does that say about the WNBA?
Oh my goodness. I don't understand anything about sports, but I do get really irritated with young people that say literally all the time and for the wrong reason.
Right? I think I've said literally a lot on this.
I'm like literally dead. Like, that's so dumb.
Well, now I'm self-conscious. I probably said literally.
Don't ever say it again.
All right. Well, guys, they thought we were just going to sit down and shut up, that we'd let them rewrite reality, cancel common sense, and run this country into the ground while we scroll TikTok and sip soy lattes. But guess what? They forgot one thing. I'm Primetime 99 Alex Stein, and I don't play by their rules. On Blaze TV, we're not just reacting to the madness, we're exposing it. We're naming names, trolling the tyrants, and laughing in the face of their propaganda. This isn't your grandpa's cable news. This is the front line of the culture war. Unfiltered, uncensored, completely unhinged in the best way possible. Every weeknight, I bring the chaos directly to your screen. Politicians, media puppets, woke warriors, nobody is safe. If they're destroying the country, we're putting them on blast. And the best part, you can join the Primetime 99 posse for just 99 cents for your first 30 days. That's right, only 99 cents to get in on the realest, rawest, most ridiculous political show on the internet. Go to blazetv.com/Alex and sign up today and show the elites they can't cancel what they can't control. This is how we win, not by playing nice, not by staying quiet, but by speaking truth, bringing receipts, and clowning the clowns one segment at a time. Go support us, guys. And, you know, hey, we're down to our last few shows on this show, guys. Potentially, if we don't re-sign with the Blaze, I hope we do. We only have about 40 shows left. Isn't that crazy, Donna?
Aw, I didn't know that. How do we make it last longer?
I know. We got. Hopefully, the Blaze will re-sign me. I don't know if they're that interested. You know, our viewers are, we're kind of lacking enough viewers, I think. But hey, we appreciate everybody that has stuck with us, the diehards. We love you all, you chat rats. So, Donna, before we go, how can people find you and support you?
You can find me on social media at Donna Lee Comedy. Donna Lee, Asian, but looks Mexican. Okay. And I'm on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, at Donna Lee Comedy. That's right.
And Donna Lee, real quick though, how big of a bump? I guess I asked you this, but you didn't say you did get a bump from Kill Tony, but like.
I did, several thousand people in a couple of weeks, and now I started at 168 people on Instagram when I came back to comedy 14 months ago, and now I have 13,000.
Oh, that's really good. We'll give it up for Donna. We love Donna. Everybody go support Donna
Yay,
Lee.
me.
And thank you to our guest, Adrienne Gray. Go watch her show, Real America's Pop Culture. She answered those questions well, I thought. You know, she answered them in a professional way without, you know, probably getting canceled. All right, guys, we end the show the same way every time with that freestyle finale. So, DJ, hit that beat. Yo, what's up, Donna Lee? I'm trying to get freaky. Big booty Latina, stay in the state. No, you can't hate. Try to be great. We gotta save you amnesty. Can't you see? I like the booty. Hit that like, hit it right. Subscribe right now. Don't have a cow. We need you to watch the show. It's almost time to go. I love Hunter Biden. He loves blow. I'm prime time 99. Thank you for watching. One more time. Hit that like. Hit that spike. One more time. I'm gonna hit you like Ike Turner. I love you guys. Peace and good night.